Good morning. I'd like to officially call to order the Potter County Commissioners Court for October 13, 2014. Let the record note those in attendance are Commissioner Kelly, Commissioner Murguia, Judge Ware, Commissioner Church, and Commissioner Vaughn. I invite you to please stand as Julie leads us in prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity together today, Lord. We thank you for the win, Lord. It means that you're around us. Dear Lord, we just ask that you be with the commissioners this morning. Just help them to be with them as they make decisions for the county, Lord. Be with everybody who works in this county, Lord, for us to always be mindful of the county that we serve, Lord. We just ask that you be with those who are serving, going before us and serving on foreign fields, Lord. We ask that you be with law enforcement and just guide and protect them and keep them safe. We give this day to you. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Item number 1, approval of minutes. Approval of the minutes from September 22nd, 2014 Potter County Commissioners Court meeting. The motion from Judge Ware to approve the minutes as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Church. All those in favor show of hands. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. I am going to transition to item 6, which is recognition for the Potter County Sheriff's Detention Center to recognize the Sheriff Department with a letter. Oh, I'm sorry. I am speaking to the wrong one. Is that right, Sheriff? Yeah, let me get to the right one. 5, I'm sorry, item 5. To recognize Dean Sather, resident of Potter County, that provided assistance to the Potter County Sheriff's Office and TDCJ in search of an escapee, on September 22nd, 2014. Sheriff, would you like to maybe come up and say a few words? And certainly, please step forward before the court. We have a certificate for you.
There's some other people here as well. Warden, you want to come up?
Sure, come on up.
You guys want to come up? Many of you know on the 22nd, they had an escape out of the Neal unit. And we had several law enforcement officers out there and agencies working together, which it's always nice to be able to pull this all together. As you know, DPS has a helicopter in the area that we use tremendously up here. However, that day it was either down for maintenance or down on the border, one of the two, I'm not sure which. It was not unavailable to us. And everybody started asking about, wish we had somebody had a plane. And I said, well, I got a friend that's got one. And if you don't know Dean Sather is a true servant. Because when I called him up, I said, hey man, what are you doing? He goes, oh, I was just going through some paperwork here at work. And I said, well, I hate to bother you, but I said, we kind of need a plane today. And you could hear him shutting up the books, shuffling papers, and he goes, where are we going to meet? I'll be there. And you just tell me when and where. I said, well, I'm on my way there if you want to do it. And he came out, brought his own personal plane out, flew for us. He had gassed it up, and we met him out there and flew over the area of East Ridge for quite a little time. And then we got word the guy was up north out by the Canadian River, or actually almost to the county line. And Dean was able to fly up there and keep an eye on him until our guys could get up there and get this guy apprehended again. So it was truly a servant heart that he was able to come and help us. Not a question in the world. Refused to take any. I said, well, let me at least buy you a tank of gas for your plane. He goes, oh no, man, that's all right. We did pay for a little bit of his gas, and he goes, man, that was the best ride along I've ever had. So I mean, he is truly a friend of law enforcement and truly a friend of the county to come out and help us. So we just wanted to present him with a little certificate here. Suitable for framing if you'd like, but just to thank you for that. And we also got you a nice little, plaque here to just to say our thanks for coming out and helping us without any question whatsoever. Just a little silent hero award that's presented to you today on the 13th of October. So We greatly appreciate your help and your response to my office.
Sheriff and Dean, I'll add this, on behalf of the Commissioners Court, to acknowledge with sincere and grateful appreciation, and certainly all the citizens of Collier County. Thank you so much, sir.
I'm gonna introduce the rest of you.
Well, this is Gordon, I'm gonna let her introduce herself. From out there from the unit.
Warden Jamie Baker, Senior Warden out of the Neal Unit. OIG guys.
Right in this office of the Inspector General, Roger Kendall, Office of Inspector General.
Kind of like the ones that do the hunting, and they work behind the scenes out there within the walls out there. And tremendous help with this as well.
And thank you for all your work. Sure, I can. I will then move to item 6, recognition for the Potter County Sheriff's Detention Center to recognize the Sheriff's Department with a letter from the Texas Commission on Jail Standards and Certification of Compliance. Sheriff, is there anything? Did you want-
He just left?
He just needed? She's right here, yes, if he has a moment, just to.
I'd like to read a letter if that's
Oh, okay,
possible.
perfect, good. I was planning on doing that, so if you'd like that, that'd be great.
I'm gonna, Lisa Dawson, our captain for the
Right.
patrol that's out there.
Oh, perfect.
Granted, that's to the sheriff's department, but that lady right there and her crew out there are the ones that did that, and so I greatly appreciate it. Recognize her for that effort out there.
Absolutely. Understand?
Each year, the Texas Commission of Jail Standards inspects our jail and detention center, I guess is a better word. But anyway, this is a letter that the sheriff's office received, and I think it's worthy to read it so that all are recognized. The Texas Commission on Jail Standards wishes to acknowledge the excellent work of the Potter County Sheriff's Office with a certificate of compliance for the Potter County Jail. The most recent inspection of your facility on September 16, 17, 2014 by Texas Commission on Jail Standards Inspector Jacqueline Simler has demonstrated that your facility is in compliance with the Texas minimum jail standards. The certificate of compliance demonstrates your outstanding leadership and the diligent work of your staff in complying with minimum jail standards. In addition, this achievement is a direct result of your office's commitment to excellence. It is an example of dedication and professionalism in maintaining a safe, secure, and sanitary facility. And we just want to congratulate you. Great job.
That with leadership of Sheriff Thomas and Chief Johnson and all the hard work that all the employees put in together, that's why we're able to achieve this recognition this year. Like I say, as in all the years past, it takes a group effort from everybody that's employed in the sheriff's office, and they do a diligent hard work.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for reading that, Commissioner Church. Item number 2, vouchers. To consider and act upon the approval of the payment of vouchers processed by the County Auditor's Office for the period of September 17, 2014 through October 7, 2014, for check numbers 158189 through 158556, and wire number 441 through 449, the amount of $2,571,236.75. I'd like to entertain a motion. You approve?
Yes, thank you.
I have a motion from Judge Ware to approve the vouchers.
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Kelly for discussion. I'd like to open up the floor for any questions from the court. Okay. Hearing none? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, show of hands. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 3, insurance report. To recognize the insurance fund report. Ms. Holland?
This morning, I would like to bring your attention to the final item on the insurance fund report dated 10/2. It's the weekly claims run, the last one on this report. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention that this claims run report likely contains what we hope to be the last of the high-cost blood derivative drug for high-cost claimant. So,
Last one ever or the last one?
unless there is a change in medical condition for this participant, it looks like we're seeing remissions. So, you know, it's great for
Good for
the
everybody.
participant and wonderful for the plan, so.
Thank you. So recognize. Item 4, workers' compensation insurance. To consider and act upon renewing workers' compensation insurance to Texas Political Subdivision for the amount of $180,251 for the period of November 1, 2014 through September 30th, 2015. This is the third year of a 3-year fixed rate proposal, so there are no increases in the rates per the employee type. This fee also includes the fee for Willis as the county's broker to be paid separately by the county. David?
Yes, we have actually had Steve Lapp here who could speak very pointedly to our renewal, and he can give us information on that.
Thank you for being here.
Good morning. The premium this year is $180,251. Last year, the premium, including the fee, and that is the premium including the broker fee. The premium including the broker fee last year was $166,108, which reflects a $14,000 increase. That increase is due to a payroll increase of $436,000 over last year. And we had losses of $242,000 this year, so we had a little worse year than normal this year. And this is our last year with the fixed rate for employee type, and next year we'll have to put it to RFP, so we will do that.
Steve, I do have a question, and maybe even a question for Carrie. I was surprised to see our volunteer operation slotted for employment, unemployment, this is workers' compensation versus unemployment.
Yes.
Okay, that was my concern, workers' comp. Any questions from the board? I have a motion from Judge Ware to approve as presented with no increase in the rates. Is there a second? Second from Commissioner Vaughn. All those in favor show of hands. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Item 7, tax assessor collector to consider and act upon the approval of the 2014 tax roll. Ms. Saylor? Good morning. Good morning. We just received the backup coming into court this morning. Can you walk us through this document just for the sake of the court, make sure we're following you?
Okay, all this is a recap of what the tax roll is as far as real estate accounts, mobile home, business, personal, oil and gas, and a little rolling stock. And then we've got our exemption totals for each of those different goals. And then our taxable values are that third column. And then we apply the tax rate to the total. And then we subtract out our present tax adjustment to give us a total of $43,446,569.41.
And with a plan to mail statements by October 13, 2014, is that correct?
They're at the printers right now. They'll either
Move
go out
we-
late today or tomorrow.
Move we approve the 2014 tax rate.
I have a motion from Commissioner Church and a second from Judge Ware. All those in favor show of hands. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Potter County projects. Your report on various Potter County projects and to take any action necessary.
Good morning.
the document that I presented to you. I'd like to start off first with the county courthouse preservation phase 3. This is on our warranty and substantial completion. Would you like to address that?
Yeah, I would. There has been a little bit of a change in the litigation that we're involved in with the jurymen, and we're not involved in this questions on appeal, but the Court of Appeals has issued a decision in that case, and the question was whether or not the parties there had to go to arbitration or not. The jurymen were saying they did. The court has ruled, yes, you did have to go to arbitration before you proceed further in lawsuits. So those parties are gonna have to do arbitration. We're not included in that because our contract does not require us to go to arbitration. So I don't know what the next step is gonna be for them. I assume they're gonna be going to arbitration at some point. And I have not heard anything about that at this point. So, but it's a step farther along than it was the last meeting.
You know who's gonna be involved in that arbitration?
Stockco, Palmer Painting, I believe.
Diversified injuries.
Yeah, Diversified Interiors. So, I mean, 3 of the biggest subcontractors. Stockco being, I think, the main, if I'm recalling, they have the biggest claim in that right line.
Yes.
So, and they've been kind of prime movers behind this lawsuit all along.
So how does that work if we don't have any, here or anything in the process with, as far as evolution, rolling that down?
Well, but and I've been kind of thinking about that. Potentially, I think what would happen is, I mean, in the best case scenario, I guess for these parties, they would reach a resolution in arbitration. And then that part of the lawsuit would be over, but we still have a lawsuit against Stockco, so that would go forward.
Against jury.
Yeah, against Journey, so that would go forward at some point. So I suspect what would happen is that at the court where it's filed, would send us back to mediation if we actually tried it. That's my guess, that's the usual practice, but perhaps not, this case has already been there.
Even though we've already met?
Yeah, could be, yeah, maybe not, I mean, so that certainly seemed to be a waste of time. But I don't know, that's kind of what I see happening next, so. And now, the biggest question here, I don't know, is whether or not the journeyman or one of the other parties will appeal that, try and appeal that decision. If they believe that Court of Appeals decision is wrong, they may try and take it up to the Texas Supreme Court. And who knows if they're gonna do that or not. I mean, we'll know that pretty quick, I believe. They've got a 30-day time to file a notice of appeal. So, and then after they do appeal, then we've got several months at least before we know, even if the Supreme Court's gonna take the case. So it's moving along, but it's moving very slowly.
So ours is in a holding pattern.
Yes,
Is that correct?
yes.
Do you know if their government contracts are being held up as a result of what's going on here?
I don't know. I have not heard.
I have not heard.
Be interesting to find out.
One of the things that happened, but I don't know.
Probably don't use this as a reference.
They did try, Commissioner Sherman.
I'm sure we don't either, do we?
Okay. The Santa Fe, the modernization project, we're about a little further than 95% actually right now. As of today, we are waiting some documents to come in from the structural engineer. We'll have a meeting with them Wednesday morning, so they hopefully will be finalizing that. Ready to go out for bid on that particular project. Volunteer fire station, this is on fire station number 3. We are currently still in schematic design review. We have fell behind on our timetable. We have presented our latest to the architect. They came back to us with a lot of questions and issues, especially regarding architectural barriers. So Pat and I have a meeting scheduled tomorrow with Park Hill Smith and Cooper to see which direction we're going with this project. And then with all due respect to our 2 commissioners, Commissioner Bond and Commissioner Kelly, we'd like to hold a meeting with y'all since y'all oversee our departments to present this project to you to see how we need to proceed forward. We started clearing the property side out there off North Sansia this past Thursday. They're continuing to work on that. The second page, the Excel Energy Retro Commissioning project that we have been involved in. The Weldon Company out of Houston, I have received all documentation. We are just waiting on confirmation with our agent, Brown and Associates here, our engineer, to sit down and go over what they actually found out to make sure we understand everything. Basically, if you recall, this is the program that we got involved in to tell us what we can do to save money. The Excel Energy Standard Offer Rebate Program through Excel and the Energy Efficiency Incorporation, they have presented a check to the county on the rebate. You can see there in the column to the right, we have received it. It was a 65-35 percentage, 65 being to the county, 35 to Energy Efficiency Energy Solutions. Our amount received was $2,204.74. This program is still not closed out. I'm still addressing the issue with Excel on all the LED lighting that we put on top of Santa Fe building to see if we can still get something back from that. So that is currently still in the process. Out of our help projects, items A through G, you can see the current standing right there. We are nearing completion on item B in the Santa Fe building. Items H through M, we are still working on proposals with the Gordian Group. Hopefully, David and I would like to bring that to the court at the next meeting for y'all's consideration and approval on these non-emergency health projects. The item N, the Fairgrounds County Extension, I mentioned to you that it was going to be completed this December. We actually got the material in a lot earlier. You know, I had the opportunity to go by there. All the floors are completed. The project is 100%. And then the remainder being the Fairgrounds property for which we'll discuss today.
Any wind projects from last night?
Not that I know of. So it was very strong. The last few items out of the 2013-14 budgeted project, the fire escapes is the only one that we're lacking. It's all approved for us to do out of this fiscal, out of the previous fiscal year. Out of your projects on the next category, Fire Station 6 remodel, we have, I held a meeting with Richard and Pat this past week and went over these two projects with them, making them aware that Fire Station 6 will require an environmental cleanup on asbestos. We have that budgeted within the project, each phase, or hopefully will come in under budget from what we allocated for that. So our next phase right now is to contract with our industrial hygienist to do the project design. And then we will get the documents to David to put out for bid, or however he chooses to get a remediation contractor on board. We hope to time that project with the actual construction. That is it, unless you have questions.
Mike, I do have a question on page 1, the area roads, 40%. Do we have a timeline for completion on those?
We basically shut that down during the summer. We'll pick it back up this fall, whenever Nick can get the opportunity to go through the remainder of the roads.
And I remember part of the area roads, there was hope with the acoustics, some of that would help offset that, is
From what I understand, the areas that they did put it in.
to help. Okay.
Yes.
So the ones pending are?
Yeah, I don't know if they even got to y'all's area yet.
Yes, we're done.
They're just kind of working their way through the area, building which was easier to work last year, so we'll start back up on it.
And do you see a distinct difference in?
It's helped some, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does help. Anything helps because it's so open in most of those places.
Any other questions from the court? Thank you, Mike.
On the projects, that I just say something.
Sure.
Or actually, I'm just gonna hand y'all something. There's 3 photographs I took here around about 11 o'clock. Leaving the building over there, and it really doesn't do it justice as to how well it's lit up that parking lot. Again, I'm gonna thank you all for doing that.
Item number 9, cell phone allowance. To consider and act upon the approval of additional cell phone allowance for the district attorney's office, funding to be determined. Anderson?
How my goodness is we've got several people they're getting home allowances over there, all the investigators are, there's 6 of them. The guy that does the drug stuff, of intake, the head of intake, myself, and the head of the sex crime intake, and then 3 victim coordinators. So I've got 10 people that are already doing it. I need to get my first assistant on that. We are now with law enforcement. We're very much on the cell phones all the time, including just he and I back and forth sometimes between ourselves, depending on where we're at. And I would like to ask the court to do that. Recognized it before the budget, and I thought my secretary was kind of taking care of that. And anyway, I'll accept responsibility that I didn't make it happen in the budget cycle for the oversight, because I thought it kind of got handled and got included in the budget in that part, and it didn't. So that's why I'm here asking now for it to happen.
How much do we allow each of the others?
$40 a month for it.
And Gary, in terms of countywide, how many cell phone allowances do we have? You indicated 10 in the DA's office.
Yes.
I'm looking at Paula, she helps me keep up with this, maybe 50?
Including all the different funding, approximately 48 to 50, yes.
And in terms of different funding, what are other funding options? Because I know that's an open question, funding to be determined.
Some of the sheriff's office come out of the venture fund, but the rest is out of the county general fund. And then I guess juvenile probation has a few that comes out of their fund.
Would you like to offer any suggestions in terms of funding?
What would be the,
Saving the asset forfeiture money, we can save it for that, to set forfeiture money for something else for a long time.
so,
That's what we're
wait a
gonna do.
minute. I approve, you move to approve, right? So the alternative, funding.
Wait a minute.
Commissioner Vaughn, I have a motion from Judge Ware to approve. I will second for discussion. Commissioner Vaughn, please go ahead.
For discussion, thank you. The alternative, what would be the more likely, source for the alternative source of funding?
I would recommend that we transfer it from stationery and supplies, the $400 that's already in the DA's budget. That is acceptable.
Then we'll have to be prepared to obviously continue that from year to year. So just so the court is aware of that increase, if you will.
But it won't change the bottom line of his budget category.
Okay.
Is that good?
That's very fine.
All right.
So, Judge Ware, would you like me to state that motion to make sure we include the budget transfer for you? Is that, you want me to restate that for you to approve that? Let me state it and then you can tell me if you would agree with it. A motion to approve the cell phone allowance to include a budget transfer from the district attorney's office stationery and supplies. Is that approved, Judge? Okay. I have a motion from Judge Ware and I have seconded that motion. Any other discussion? All those in favor show of hands. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much, Vicki.
Thank you, Judge. Item 10, release of alley dedication Bushland, to consider a request to release the dedication of the platted but undeveloped alleys in blocks 36 and 37, section 179, block 9, and to include a survey. We just received, or we have the backup that was emailed, is that right?
Should have gotten that by email. And included in that is not only the request, but also a survey of the property that's involved. And you can, if you look and see, they're basically asking that in block, you'll see block 36 and 37, which are right there. I'll show you my map. Interpreting skills, these are passed. There you'll see 2 alleys right there. That's what they're asking us to release. Release they are undead, like most alleys in Bushland. They're not there. They're only as a fiction on on the subdivision plan. So they're asking us to release those two dedications. We own no legal interest. All we have on that plat is a right to go in and accept that dedication and build an alley there if we wanted to do. So we haven't even, as far as I can tell from looking at the Commissioner's Court records, and I didn't do this time, but I've done it in the past. The Commissioner's Court never accepted any of those roads and alleys. And so they just, when they wanted to build a road, they just built the road. And so we have no interest at all in all these tracts we've been asked recently to release. So all we'll do is, and I don't have it with me, I left it on my desk, but as we always do, if the court approves that, we'll prepare a document the county judge has signed. It just says that the Commissioners, Potter County releases its dedication on these two tracts. And they provided me with a really nice legal description and his map, so there'll be no doubt about what we're doing. And I've checked with Road Bridge, and we have there's no easement or anything there, and they are comfortable with releasing that.
So we're not, expectation is not for any accountability moving forward on that, down the road, that they will initiate that work. We have no, responsibility for it.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I have a Mr. Marsh referenced on the agenda item. Is someone here to speak on behalf of that, Dave?
I don't believe so. I told them if they wanted to show up, they could. I didn't think it would be necessary since they provided me with the information.
And Dave, per the document, there's language in there that they are pursuing an opportunity that will provide Bushland with a medical clinic to benefit the community. Do you have any background on that? That would be helpful to know.
I have no idea about that. And I'm not sure if there's any interest in that.
I'm not hearing it.
I don't know we have any, I didn't ask.
What's on? Yeah, it's not listed on the letter.
Oh, I know
that
it's
was
listed in the
included.
letter, but I don't have any background. I didn't ask for it.
So that the roads
The only thing down the road is if Bushland ever incorporates, then the city might want something, but for us,
I think it'd be interesting to know the initiative for the medical clinic. I think that'd be good to know for the citizens to reside there. Okay. Any other questions from the court? Like to entertain a motion?
I move that we accept the request to release the dedication of platted but undeveloped alleys on block 36 and 37, sections 179, block 9.
Second.
A motion from Commissioner Church and a second from Judge Ware. All those in favor show of hands. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 11, renewal of license, sexually oriented business to renew the license of John A. Coyle for a sexually oriented business as required by Potter County regulations. Dave?
It's an annual renewal of their license. There's a fee which they have paid, and as our regulations, they're in compliance with our regulations, and the regulations state that situation, the license will be renewed.
This is the first time that another pro tem that officiating on this besides myself, so.
Thank you, Commissioner Vaughn. So eloquently
Is this
stated that.
the one out east of town?
Yes, it's the only one we have in town. Or we're not in town, but it's
In
the
the
only
county.
one within our jurisdiction, so. Precinct County.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Judge Ware to approve and a second from Commissioner Church. All those in favor show of hands. Was that 4? All those opposed? 4-1. Motion carries.
Thank you both.
Item 12, a certificate of achievement, excellence in financial reporting. To recognize the certificate of achievement for excellence 1 financial reporting awarded to Potter County Auditor by the Government Finance Officers Association of the U.S. and Canada. Dave?
Actually, I think this is Commissioner Church's item.
Yes.
Commissioner Church.
We have a recognition that I thought it would be worthy to bring before our Commissioner's Court for Carrie and her office, the county office. And I'd just like to read this statement that was sent. The Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting has been awarded to Potter County by the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada for its comprehensive annual financial report. Their certificate of achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by government and its management. An award of financial reporting achievement has been awarded to the individual department or agency designated by the government as primarily responsible for preparing the award-winning annual financial report. This has been presented to the Auditor's Office of Potter County. The annual financial report has been judged by an impartial panel to meet the highest standard of the program, including demonstrating a constructive spirit of free disclosure to clearly communicate its financial story and to motivate potential users and user groups to read the county's annual financial report. So I'd like to congratulate our auditing office for that award.
And I would like to mention that it's not just my staff that does it, it takes every department in this county for us to gather this information, so it is a true team effort. So thanks to all you guys too.
Thank you for that, Kim. And thank you, Commissioner Church, for bringing that forward. Item 13, surplus property. To consider and act upon disposing of the attached list of items that did not sell at auction.
You should have had a list in your commissioner's report packet, but this is a list of lots that did not sell in our auction, and as per local government code, I'm asking for permission to dispose of that. I will post it on that nonprofit web listserv for about a week and give everyone a chance to get it before we dispose of it.
So I can see where the monitors would be items that some nonprofits would be able to use. Questions for the court? Like to entertain a motion?
So moved to approve.
A motion from Commissioner Vaughn and a second from Judge Ware. All those in favor show of hands. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 14, formal bid renewal. To consider and act upon renewing the following bids for an additional year. A, formal bid 1022-10, Pest Control Services with Ace Pest Control for the contract period of 12/1/14 through 11/30/15. Let's take that by itself and then maybe bring the second.
Okay, this is the 5th year of a 5-year contract we put in place. There's no increase in rates from the last 4 years, and both maintenance and the sheriff's office have been contacted and they're happy with the service.
And we got rid of all the tests. See a few around here.
I have a motion from Judge Ware to approve. Is there a second?
Get rid of the one.
And a second from Commissioner Church. All those in favor show of hands. Opposed, motion carries 5-0. Item B, formal bid 1074-13, electrical services with More Electric for the contract period of 11/1/2014 through 10/31/2015.
This would be the second year of a 3-year contract for the electrical services. More Electric installed the LED lighting at the Santa Fe building, and they do all the electrical stuff that maintenance can't do. Again, both the sheriff's office and maintenance has been contacted, and they're happy with the service and they would like to continue. There is an increase on their labor that they put in the bid, and that was evaluated when we were looking at the best bid. So they still are low compared to the other bids we got, but it'll be about a % increase among all the divisions of labor. The markup on materials is unchanged, so
That was approved.
yes.
And for the 1% increase, is there enough in the budget to offset that 1%?
I'm sure. I mean, this is done as projects are needed, so that would be evaluated on a case by case basis.
I have a motion from Judge Ware to approve. Is there a second? Second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor show of hands. Opposed, motion carries 5-0.
Thanks.
Item 15, employment items. To consider and act upon the following employment items. A, Extension Office, the termination of Amy Wagner. B, Road and Bridge, termination of Gary Johnson. C, Road and Bridge, termination of Jerry Miller. D, Facilities Maintenance, the transfer of Gail Murray. E, Facilities Maintenance, the termination of Justin Slaughter. F, Elections Administrator, the termination of Crystal Arn. And I'll take those, and we will take item G separately because it is an increase in hours, so we may have discussion around that. So items A through F. Are there any questions from the court?
I move we approve the employment items and actions from A through F.
I have a motion from Commissioner Church and a second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor show of hands. Opposed, motion carries 5-0. Employment items, continue to consider and act upon the following employment items. Item G, Elections Administrator, the request for increase in hours of Casey Bledsoe, Deputy Clerk, effective 10/6/14. Not sure if Malin is in the audience. She's not.
This is an interim, full-time for the election processes that's going on, so she's just needing help and support in that area for that time frame. Now, as far as the upgrade in the salary position, so there's gonna be more work involved. I think that's what she was alluding to.
So this particular request is just an increase in hours, and the remarks on the employment status change, request for Casey to work full-time from October 6th through October 31 for DocuWare/elections. Funding source is 110-151-61120. So Carrie, you may enlighten us of what that funding source is.
During the budget morning, it requests some extra health funds in her voter registration budget, and that's where she's requesting these additional hours to be charged to.
Okay. I have a motion from Judge Ware and a second from Commissioner Vaughn. All those in favor show of hands. Opposed, motion carries 5-0. Item 16, jail report. To hear report on the Potter County Detention Center and take any action necessary. I have the count at 505 with 84 female. Sure. Any in children's? Sure. Okay, so recognized. Item 17, county insurance items, to consider and act upon any insurance claims, accidents against the county.
Nothing new to report.
So noted. We've got 3 executive sessions, 18, 19, and 20. And so Dave, in terms of when to break, I know one in particular requires a unanimous vote. Would you like to take that vote and take all executive sessions together?
That'd be fine with me. I think just long, and I think that's okay, proper as long as the record shows that the vote was made. And I gave, for the record, I gave a copy of we're also required to give you a written opinion on that item, that it fits the exception, and it does, and I've given you a copy of that, and I filed a copy with the county clerk. So that's that's in there somewhere. And then you need to have a vote on that item to determine whether you want to go into executive session.
Dave, I got a question. Why is it required in this vote?
That's what the statute says.
That's just the way it is.
He's the heck out of me.
Certain time.
I don't know, I really don't. It doesn't make sense to me that it's, because if it's, I mean, you know, it seems to me that if there's a contract negotiation question and you want to talk about it so you don't hurt your, that shouldn't even be required. But it is, for some reason it is, so.
So for the record, we'll go ahead and take the first 18, and then I'll state briefly the other executive sessions that we'll take at the same time. So item 18, executive session, contract negotiations, Amarillo Local Government Corporation. A, to consider whether deliberation in open session would have a detrimental effect on negotiations with the LGC in regard to the county's participation in a parking garage project. Item B, if unanimous, to hold an executive session as authorized by the Texas Government Code Section 551.0725 to deliberate business and financial issues related to a proposed contract. And then C, to take any action after executive session or deliberation in open session. So I'd like to entertain a motion for us to transition to executive session as it regards to item 18.
So move that we hold the executive session as authorized by Texas Government Code Section 551.0725 to deliberate business and financial issues.
A motion by Commissioner Church and a second by Commissioner Vaughn. All those in favor show of hands. A unanimous vote. We will also take executive session consulting with attorney Tri-State Fair Property Insurance Claims. Item A, to hold an executive session to seek legal advice from the county attorney regarding negotiations with the Tri-State Fair regarding pending property insurance claims pursuant to section 551.071, Texas Government Code, and item B, to take any action necessary after the executive session that will occur in open session. Then item 20, executive session, computer network security, to receive information and deliberate regarding the security of the county's computer network pursuant to section 551.076 Government Code, and item B, to take any action necessary in open session. We will break for executive session now.
Before we break into executive session, could we revisit item number 4? The policy period that's covered or stated on the workers' compensation insurance has a typographical error. That policy period should read November 1st of 14 through October 31st of 15. And I just wanted to make sure we got that in there.
Who had the original motion? If you would find Judge Ware, and the second was Commissioner Vaughn. So we just need the motion restated to reflect the correct period. So Judge Ware, the current motion stated on November 1, 2014 through September 30th, 2015, and it should read November 1, 2014 through October 31, 2015. Are you okay with amending that?
Yes.
Okay. And a second for that. All those in favor, show of hands. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. We'll now break. We are waiting for Judge Ware to join us. We are back in session, and Commissioner Vaughn wanted to review, re-entertain the agenda item 11, renewal of license, sexually oriented business. There were 4 in favor, 1 opposed, and Commissioner Vaughn requested a nay vote on that.
Really?
Wanted the record to reflect that.
We have to
Need to
Restate the motion.
reconsider.
So did Judge Ware make the motion?
He did.
Okay.
We need the judge here.
Right. Is he coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
And who made the second?
Commissioner Church.
Okay.
You know, in fact, legally, we do have a vote to approve.
Yeah, I almost did that earlier. That's the door.
This consistency, that's something.
Some background music. You should sing us a song, Commissioner Kelly.
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy, you
Jeopardy.
want to go there.
You don't want to.
I was playing some Jeopardy this weekend, you know.
You're playing different.
Last weekend.
Oh, that's okay.
Linda had you in jeopardy?
Most of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Judge, we are going to review agenda item number 11. Commissioner Vaughn would like to change his vote, so we'll have to reopen that motion. And the agenda item is renewal of license, sexually oriented business, to renew the license of John A. Coyle for a sexually oriented business as required by Potter County regulations. Judge Ware, you made the motion to approve it?
Yes.
You agree with making the motion again?
Yes.
Sure, okay. And Commissioner Church, I know you made the second.
That's not the
You can.
parliamentary procedure way to handle this. Whoever wants to reconsider needs to make a motion to reconsider this.
Judge, would you like to make a motion to reconsider?
Oh, I move to, I'll move to reconsider the motion on the renewal of the license, sexually oriented business, to renew the license of John A. Coyle for a sexually oriented business as required by Pollock County regulations.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Judge Ware. All those in favor show of hands to approve? I'm sorry, to reconsider, to
Reconsider.
reopen the motion, yes.
So,
Yep. So there's 4 to reopen the motion. Is that a yea or a nay?
That's a nay.
Nay. 4-1. So I'd like to reopen the agenda item, renewal of license, sexually oriented business. I'd like to entertain a motion.
I'll move that we renew the license of John A. Coyle for a sexually oriented business as required by Potter County regulation.
A motion by Commissioner Church. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second by Judge Ware. All those in favor show of hands. You opposed? Motion carries 3-2. Was that a?
With a caveat, I will vote yes to go ahead.
Okay. 3-2.
Not because I want to.
Not because you want to. Let the record know.
None of us do, but if you-
I don't want to save Dave some trouble.
We had 3 votes.
Okay?
And again, I emphasize, you're not approving the business or the application, we are renewing it as required by regulations. So you're not taking any kind of moral stance on whether it's a good business or not. So, I understand.
Something that's happened for 20 years, and if you don't approve it, you're gonna be in court.
The item has passed. We will then proceed back to 18, executive session. Contract negotiations, Amarillo Local Government Corporation, no action taken. Number 18. Number 19, executive session, Tri-State Fair property insurance claims. I will make a motion to reopen the claim and ask TAC to review all information and designate Potter County Representatives Mike Head and David Harder to review with TAC, and all recommendations will come back before Potter County Commissioners Court.
Second.
I have a motion and a second from Commissioner Vaughn. All those in favor show of hands. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
But no action taken in executive.
No, exactly, yes, correct, thank you. No action taken in executive session. Item 20, executive session, computer network security, no action taken. Item 21, we've already taken all the executive sessions, and item 22, agenda items, to receive agenda items for the next Commissioners Court. Are there any agenda items to open the court? Carrie, one agenda item, it doesn't have to be the next Commissioners Court, and maybe Dave, the Council of Urban Counties that we are now a member of, it would be helpful to have some information of what is entailed in that membership, whether there's educational webinars or anything along those lines. I think it'd be helpful for us to know. And it doesn't have to be the next court, just something. Yeah. Anything else? Hearing none, we will adjourn at 10:59. Have a great week.